I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen meeting for Northwood to order at 6 o'clock on October 16th, 2018. A roll call, Donald Hushin here.
Beth Boudreau here.
Scott Breyer here.
Nick or Chief Duet, would you like to lead us in the pledge? Doesn't matter who, one of you.
Together.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was the silentest pledge of allegiance I've ever heard. So is there any citizens forum before we get going? Nick, you're up then. Go right into budget.
There's only one, well, I'll let you guys look at it, but I found one error on it.
Okay.
There's a description, but the dollar amount didn't transfer over in the computer for some reason.
Which one is that? Which line is that? Nick?
The part-time wages.
Okay, yep.
The reason I put a description in there, I increased it. My original was about 9,900, which for the year. That would be one shift, part-time shift, preferably a weekend night, where we only have one person on now, a full-timer. They'd be adding a part-timer shift. So if you do one shift a week times 52 weeks, it's about 9,900. That's why the comment's there for some reason on the printout. I don't know why it's. Did you notice it, Sandy?
No,
I have the comment on mine.
What?
I have the comment on
I have the
mine.
comment.
Yeah, but
The increase
To help
is
with
not
having
there.
two members.
How much
of
more is
the-
it supposed to, so it's 57,507 now, is that what
right,
you want?
and
What's
what I
that
had on
increase?
my sheet was 67,470.
So that's what you would like?
Would be the total.
57 plus the 9,900. It out of the budget.
Yeah, because it saved everything else.
So what is it that you want? You want 60 what?
The total would be 67,470.
Which line is that?
That's this one right here.
Part-time.
He wants to make,
Besides that,
he
everything.
wants to turn it up to 67,470.
That's the biggest increase. Obviously, it would
What's that increase, Nick, real quick?
9,900.
You will have to adjust all the taxes to go with that, though.
Okay.
Right.
Can we, okay, go ahead.
And it's offset by the savings and the health insurance. And
So how do we know we're gonna have savings in the health insurance if when we fill those 4 positions? I mean, you got, when all of them filled, say they all
Yeah,
need
you don't-
family plans.
you don't. I don't know how Sandy.
So we got a budget for family plan.
I actually have to change that line to add another family plan in, and later on tonight you'll know
So we
why.
could potentially have 4 family plans.
Yeah, because that's gonna go up another 28,000 on that line after tonight.
And then which, if you look down further, the building maintenance, we're saving 28,000 this year on that because the exhaust system was in that
Yep.
last year.
So we won't need that this year.
So
My only question, and I think,
Should we be changing that to a fire chief
well,
salary?
that was my question. Should we change the fire chief stipend to $1 and take that 10,000 and put it into the,
I think you should create, if the decision of the board is to go with a full-time fire chief, we need the budget.
wouldn't that, yeah, I know, but wouldn't that go into the overall budget?
No, it'd be like if you look at the police department, I guess they have the salaries
At the end,
there.
it
They have the salaries are all together, so
Put
wouldn't that
together.
10,000 go into the salary line?
Yeah.
So we change that to
If you
$1.
have to figure out like, Because we had talked of making the salaries for like the town administrator, the police chief, and the fire chief all about the same range.
Correct. So we'd have to
So you
put,
have to just make sure you got enough money in there to cover that.
so we'd have to put the 10,000 into the salary range,
Yeah.
into the salary. So you're thinking you need to be more than the 10, you take that 10 and put
Well,
more
you-
on top of that?
You got, I'm assuming the 199 is, 4 positions?
Yes,
Sandy deals with the salaries.
yes.
Or full.
So that would be, so
So
the
fire-
10,000 would be, because where we're taking that
So-
fourth position.
So you got so that's to fund 4 positions. And then,
You're adding the 10,000.
so what we're looking to do is add the 10,000 there. So say we wanted to make that position in line with the police chief and the town administrator. How much more money would I have to put in that line?
I
Like
can't
for
do
that,
that,
if
so
it's it's a labor grade 19, right?
So, yeah, you're talking another 30,000 on the salary line.
So put another 30,000 in the
So
salary.
20 if you take that 10.
So 20 extra?
So if you
So-
take the 10, so we add another 20,
Yeah.
and then you'll have to do I'll have to figure out retirement, taxes, and then you're gonna have to add another,
Well, the retirement and taxes are already there for the fourth employee anyways.
but it's gonna
But it's
based
gonna be
on their
based on the
salary.
On the salary, so it will go up a little bit.
Right, and then you also have to add in another health plan.
Just in case they take the family plan.
Right.
Okay.
How many health plans we got right now?
Right now, well, you have 4,
We're
But they're-
budgeting for 4.
but they're on different plans, your
They're
current
all family.
employees, and they can't disclose what they're on.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we have to budget for a family plan coming up,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have to budget for this one for a family plan coming up.
So we got 2, we have to budget for 2 additional family plans.
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll have to add those numbers in after, because.
Yeah.
I'll have to fix it and then give you a new budget next
So
week.
so this line, the overall salary line is gonna go up 30,000, but it's really only going up 20,000 because we're putting 10,000 from the chief stipends into
Well,
that.
here's my question to the board, because if you look at the town admin line, the police chief line, do you want the fire chief stipend line to change to fire chief's salary and
Put it all
separate
right in there, we could.
Separate that one out.
Hold on one second, because if I look at the, hold on, I gotta go.
So it's consistent.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because are they putting,
Police have it separate.
yeah, don't they have the fire?
So you
So
can
I
do
would
that
think
with
we
the fire
should
chief.
bust out the, police chief's salary separate and just fund 3 positions in
The
the
police
salary.
chief's
talking
salary
about
is.
the fire
I'm
it
sorry,
is-
the fire chief.
Yes, that's my question. Do you want me to
Yes,
keep
that's
that?
what,
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
so that way it's consistent
So it's
with,
consistent with the
Right.
other departments.
That's my thinking, thank you.
And then we'll fund 3 positions.
so those lines will change, but it
They're all
will
gonna
still be basically going up by like 20,000 by the time we get it all set and done.
So when we talk about the,
Well, probably about 30, but
when we talk about, just kind of give me an idea, you got,
I'm looking at the police book.
I know, I flipped back to
Take
look
a
at.
second.
No, on the fire department officer stipends, how are you breaking that $10,000 up?
That was set up when we established that fund.
Yeah,
So the deputy chief gets us, a certain amount,
what's the amount?
2,500
Okay.
a year.
Will
We,
it
we do this,
capture-
and we do, officer reviews twice a year.
Yeah,
So they get half in, June, half in December.
okay, so
Um,
you're saying,
off the top of my head, I think it was, 800 for, like 1,500 for captain and 1,000 for lieutenant, but
Correct me if
I
I'm
didn't
wrong,
do
but,
that.
and then what do you do, 500 and 500, split it? Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, was that because they were doing some of the work for you? Is that why they were giving that stipend, that extra cash?
When it was established, we figured everybody kind of has a specialty, so to try to break it up, get more done, give
Right.
people a little bit responsibility.
But I
And if they
think,
take some, a couple of them are really, there's certain criteria from calls, trainings to special responsibilities that they might have, Some of them deal with EMS stuff, some deal with fire gear. Everybody has a certain responsibility.
so my question to the board is with going to a full-time chief, are we gonna require that person to do these duties so they will no longer, those other people will no longer be needed to do those duties?
I thought we talked about that originally. Wasn't it
Yeah, that
taken-
was
yeah.
originally what we were supposed to be doing. So we won't have to give them stipends anymore because they won't be doing those.
I think
duties.
if you still have a deputy chief that's, if you have a deputy chief that's a volunteer, they should get a little bigger stipend.
I'm okay with
Yeah,
doing
so-
a little bit here,
But I don't
to
think
like
you should
deputy
cut,
chief.
I don't think you should cut that line down to zero.
No, I'm not saying cut it to zero, I'm just saying
No, because
all of
there's
it.
times, I mean, I understand things are gonna change, but like, if I can't do something, Greg, Greg
Right,
steps in and helps out and does it.
Yeah, I don't,
Because you can't expect one person to do it.
So what do you want to cut that down to, Scott? What do you think's reasonable?
I think if he's already, if you've got captains that are not full-time firefighters, I don't think that we should penalize them by cutting that line at all.
Okay. To talk about the part-time stipends.
Yeah, I don't think we should mess with that at all.
Okay.
We're trying to get people to join, not quit.
Nah, if you don't think we should, then it's fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, still, when you figure that and the stipend at the end of the year, it's still $2 an hour.
Yeah. Still not making the budget go up significantly by making this change.
Well, no, because you're only gonna have 3 full-timers and a full-time
Yeah,
chief, so you're still only gonna have, in essence, what you're gonna take in one of the salaries for the full-timers and pulling that up into the chief's
Yeah, I
line.
know what we're doing. I understand what we're doing. Is there anything
So
else?
keep the officer stipend at what then?
I say the officers, I leave it at the 10
Officer
grand.
stipends, they're going to stay the same.
Leave it at the 10 grand.
No, it's 30. What are you talking about?
No,
No,
10.
it's 10.
And for the officers.
That's fire chief stipend.
That's 10
10
right
right below
there.
it, too.
Fire-
I thought you were going at this one right here, sorry. The one that's down
No,
further.
that's the,
I thought you were going to the one
That's
that
the-
was down further.
That's the yearly stipend for
that's for all the.
I thought that's the one you were looking at.
No, I'm looking at,
I see it now, fire department officer stipend. So originally, you were supposed to get 20,000 as the chief stipends, correct? And then you split it in half.
the
and
first
gave-
the
and gave
first
10 to
year we
them.
switched it to.
All right, that's what I thought it was. That's why I was kind of confused what you were talking about.
So the new chief won't be doing all the extra stuff?
No, they still will be, but we don't want to take the stipends away from the officers in case they have to still do something. So they'll still be getting the stipends the $10,000 stipend that is budgeted because it was already budgeted to them. So we're still taking what Nick is getting for a stipend and putting it towards the salary. Wasn't that
So we're giving
correct?
them the stipend, but they're not doing the work that they got before the stipend?
I'm not, it sounds like they're still gonna have some responsibility.
That's why I'm asking, yeah.
I would think they'd still
My
have
understanding
Still gonna
is
have
they're still gonna have some
responsibility, but it won't
officer
be as much.
responsibilities.
It won't be as much.
But what
I mean,
you're
that's
talking
kind
about-
of that's kind of when you.
Well, I think the new chief might have some input on that as well.
But shouldn't you have the money in there
Just in case.
in case if the new chief comes in and he says,
Yeah,
I need.
no, definitely, I'm just.
That's
wanna
all
make
I'm
sure
saying.
Because
that-
we could take that,
Right,
even though that money's there, we
We
can
can
take
move
that
it
money
around.
and move it to somewhere
Right.
else.
I guess my question
I
is
agree, but
to,
I think whoever's running the department should have a say in the,
yeah,
like,
yeah, but what
Yeah,
we're doing
right
now
I
is,
think it's just. I agree with
Yes.
Scott.
Yeah.
I think we should keep it in.
right now, we don't know who the new fire chief's gonna be, and we don't know, and I don't think you should cut that line down to nothing. I think, so, but I think when we hire the full-time chief, let him decide how he wants, I mean, he doesn't have to use that for officer salaries, he can do whatever he wants with it, but it's in there now.
The other side of it is it's not just about the money. It's about. It might sound like the money with the term when but it's like a buy-in. They don't do it because it's the money, but if you give them responsibility, they feel like they're doing.
Well-
they have a part. They're going to be more active all around. So it's.
This goes back
it's
to
a
the
little bit
wage,
of-
this goes back to the wage study. We're already saying that most of our wages are fairly low anyways, so to take that away from them on top of our wages being low might be a little bit much, I guess is kind of my point too, to your point. Because we're already talking about possibly with the wage study, so I don't want to take more from them. It's kind of my
no,
thought too.
it's sad to work and still be below poverty level.
Huh?
It's sad to work and still be poor.
I
Is
concur.
there anything else, Nick, that's below, that's changed drastically, that you see?
So by doing those 2 changes, Sandy, how much is the budget going up?
I'm gonna guess probably 30,000, well, those 2 changes, 56, 30, probably 60,000 maybe?
60?
Yeah, 2 full-time. You
we
got
have
two
to-
family plans to budget
Oh,
for.
yeah.
But that's not, that's.
But it was
the second family plan
29,000,
has
it was
nothing to do with
29,000 below, but was
This
that,
year.
was that counting that soon?
The second family plan
This,
has nothing to do with.
before these discussions about the full-time chief and stuff, it was 29,000 below last year's budget.
Because of the exhaust system.
Right, because the exhaust
So
system.
the budget's only actually
really
gonna go up about
30,000.
30,000
Yeah,
That's what,
to do that.
Right, because you're taking 28 out that we
yeah,
don't need.
because we're not,
Right.
I was gonna say that 60 sounded kinda high.
I mean, I can run it for you in 10 minutes if you want.
No, I just,
Rough idea.
you can give it to us next
Next
week.
week.
Next
Okay.
week.
It's a rough idea. It's only gonna go up, by the time it's all said and done, roughly 30,000. And that's not all because of the full-time chief either, that's because we have to budget for another.
Well, even if you had even if you had, even if we stayed status quo, if you had two people you hired that needed family plans, you're still gonna have that increase on the health line.
Yeah, I know, so that's nothing to do with us.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
I'm just stating that because people are gonna ask why it went up, because we're gonna get that question of why did it go up this much drastically, and they're gonna automatically think it's because we're going to a full-time chief, so I just wanted to make people aware that it's mostly because of
it's about half and half.
about half and half, benefits and chief, so I didn't wanna make that clear, so people don't think it's, the whole 30,000 is because we're making that change.
Right.
But it is,
It's part of it.
It is part of it, absolutely. I don't want people, it is going up a little bit because of that, but I don't want people to think the whole 30,000 is that reason. Anything else?
nope.
As far as
Everything else?
warrant articles, are you looking at purchasing a vehicle this year and trying to?
Trying to start one? Trying to start another one?
So the, we actually, if you go by the CIP, there's two things that were on it that, one we had actually pushed off a year back when the CIP was created because we had the two ambulances. So we extended the life of them. So that is up for this year. We had an ambulance committee. They did some, had vendors come in, just like we normally have done in the past. The biggest change with the biggest piece of equipment that would be new on the ambulance would be a power load system, which is about a $30,000. It would be incorporated in the cost of the ambulance, but it's about $30,000. Nowadays, with back injuries and stuff, heavier patients, basically most departments that have ambulances are going to, you don't have to lift the cot up. It's battery operated. It even secures it in the ambulance more safely. So, and then our SCBA's are, we applied the last couple of years. Ricky's written a grant, and we've been close. This year, we wrote a grant again. He wrote a grant again.
Who's the
Or-
grant to?
FEMA.
FEMA.
And he's here actually.
Does that go through the state or does that go?
It's competitive with the US Fire Administration.
Oh, okay.
It's the Fire Act grant, and it's competitive nationwide. And we came really close from being accepted this past year, so we've resubmitted. And hopefully we'll get it this year for the touch-ups and stuff that needed to be added for stats and things that changed around a little bit this time around, because there was quite a few that misunderstood last year. But the department hopefully will get that, and it'll be approximately $240,000 grant if it's awarded to us.
Is there any match involved with that?
5%.
5%.
And I haven't printed it off yet. I'll make a copy of it once I submit it. It's all done.
So we're hoping for that, obviously, but worst case scenario, they're at the end of the lifespan where they can't really recertify them.
Okay.
So
So you're looking to put in,
it's an unfortunate time frame where we need the, two things, but
so you're looking to put in a warrant article for those? Okay.
those would be the two things. But
Is that it?
that's it.
Anything else, Carl?
I just wanted to bring the thing up about the salaries.
Go ahead.
Just when we discussed the.
Oh, we already
changing
discussed it,
salaries,
all right. So we're all set?
Well, did the other truck, did the fire truck get fixed, the other one? Second one?
The other one is not, we're waiting on parts. They were notified the day after that meeting a couple weeks ago. And,
So that other truck's still down.
it's still down. But he's gonna fix it, he hopes, right at the station. We've been in touch with him a couple different times. Adam's contacted him, and I talked to him last week, at the beginning of this week, and they're just waiting for parts, so,
I would just ask to keep us in a loop too about the exhaust system.
yep. The exhaust system, you know, the proposal was signed about a month and a half ago, and, they said it took about a month and a half to get the exhaust system in, so I called them, the end of last week, I think it was, and they hadn't received it, and they were gonna let me know as soon as they had an update, so. We're doing a bunch of little station projects to get ready for it. Everybody's chipping in, so.
Did they say how long it would take them to do it once they start it?
They didn't give a time frame. I would say it would be pretty quick. But. And I've already been in touch with the electrician, so as soon as, he has to wait till they get there to set the.
So my guess question to the board is we didn't have the electrician quote, correct? Or did we already do that?
I put that in the,
Did
I
you put it
already
in the
submitted
budget?
a PO for it.
All right, because that was my question, where we're gonna shut down the POs, is whether or not we had it in time for the electrician. But if we've already done it, then we should be
You know,
fine.
hopefully it's hot. He said it was on the high side, so.
Well, at least
The
we have a
PO is.
PO, and if it's we have set it so if it's an emergency, we can fix it and do it.
And while Nick's here, did you look through your budget to see where we could come up with some money for the project?
Yeah.
The safety complex.
Before Kate did her last week here, we talked about it, and the full-time line and the health insurance line out of this year's budget.
You'll have that left over?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
Thanks for the call this morning, too. I appreciate, I mean, I don't mind helping you out if you give me enough notice.
Yep.
It's nice to see all your support behind you.
I know. I was getting
Motley
nervous there
crew,
for a
isn't
second.
All right, so we're gonna move right on. We'll go in order now. Parks and Restorations, page 20.
It's not here.
It's okay, we can do their budget. We can do the budget.
Yep.
Well, was she going to come? Are we okay? I don't want to do it if she planned on
Is
being
she
here.
gonna be here?
I don't know, she didn't,
They didn't report
in Yeah.
her office that she don't
Yeah.
have that time.
she didn't tell me she wasn't
Move around.
attending.
We'll do the rest of the budget, and if she
Maybe
isn't
she'll
here by the
show
end of
up
it.
and-
You
All right, so
please
we'll
do
do
last.
building code enforcement. I see him here. We'll do him. He's next. We'll wait.
I would
We'll
hate to have her come here for nothing.
hold off. And
Hello.
Okay. What page, building code?
it's like page 13. But the last page was off, so it might not be.
Yeah, we have to check those.
Yep, that one's right. So, looks like yours is, I only see one increase. Looks
What-
like
Contracted service?
contracted services.
Yeah, what's that for?
I will say that I just started a month ago, so I wasn't here for this
Right.
budget.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
I'm
is there
not quite
something
sure.
that, is there, besides that, is there something else that you may want to
There
add?
are three things I'd like to talk to you about
Absolutely,
adding.
so let's go there first.
Okay, let's go with the cell phone.
Okay.
I guess previous building inspectors have yet, didn't require or didn't want a phone.
Okay.
And I would
you
like
like
to add
one?
it. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it would help a
So
lot.
how much does that normally run, Sandy?
I want to figure that out right now.
She gave me 608.
Did I? Okay, I knew we
608.
talked about it, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
I'm okay with that. We can add that to this. So you're requesting 608?
Yeah, and I looked down there and I looked at the training, and we have $1. In this, especially in a building, technologies change, and you need to continually be up to date with all the, you know, as far as certificates, as far as lectures, and I'm like to add 900. That's
Okay.
about what I was using in the other communities.
So you wanna move that up to 1100?
I'd
it's
like to
only
move it up
$1
to
now.
9.
Oh, I'm looking at the line above it.
Yeah.
And how
So
many
the-
days of training would that be? Do you think?
It varies throughout the year. That's throughout the year. There's
okay.
certain ones, I'm part of the Builders Association, but they actually have lectures, all-day things that aren't covered under the dues. And, you know,
Yeah.
so.
So that would make your budget go up a total of $7,017. So,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm up, yeah, and $100.
So what is the contractor's, I'm trying to recall, what's the contractor's
That's for
services?
removal of
Oh, the demolition.
demolitions and,
If I may?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If you look in the building maintenance line for the town-owned properties, there's like $10,000 for demolition of buildings. We haven't been able to use that to actually take those buildings down that are a liability because over the past 3 years, building departments had to use that line for things like cleanup for other properties that we either have contamination or, so building needs to put a little bit in their line so that we can at least get those projects done without them keep taking from that line because we never have enough money. So when Charlie was here, Charlie and I did this budget. Charlie sat with me because he didn't want to do the budget. He wanted the new person to have their input, so Scott and I have sat together. But he figured about $5,000 for the, I guess there's some properties that do need to be cleaned up as well. So I had added the $5,000 from Charlie, and then when Scott and I met, we talked about the phone and the training. Charlie didn't want to put training in the budget because he wasn't going to be here, so that's what those are.
yeah. And so with the travel, sometimes I will not be here, go right to the site, and I figured $100 would be sufficient as far as travel. So that raises, what I'm looking at is $1,608 above what is.
7125 by the time we're done with everything.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the phone was $608
A year.
a year.
I'm okay with all his changes. But the 5,000 I'm okay with too, because we had that building that we took down earlier this year.
How much was that?
I think it was like about a little bit more than 5,000.
It was, yeah, I think it was 6,800.
We have a building that needs to come down now, don't
We
we?
have 3.
Three.
So you think those are gonna cost like about 5,000 a pop, or?
Hard to say. I don't know.
It's about 5,000 to 6,000 for one small building. Never mind, you start talking a big house. I mean, we just took down a trailer in the trailer park, and it's a trailer, and we did most of it ourselves, and it still cost us almost 10 grand.
But we've had properties like cleanup, like Bull Lake Road, those that end up coming out of those, and we can't get the buildings demoed because we have an urgent liability that we need to secure. So,
And the other thing we have to
So
think
are
of-
we actually budgeting enough money to clean up those buildings?
there's 10,000 in there. I haven't increased it. I don't have quotes for those 3 buildings. That would be something that Scott and the TA would do,
The other thing too,
to get 3 quotes to see what it would cost to do those 3 buildings.
are we thinking about budgeting to clean up the Spike Bryant property too? Because that was the other thing that we were gonna decide about this year too, or are we just gonna put it out to bid the way it is?
Put it out. Wow, you got a lot of things in there. You're talking about a safety complex.
Oh, I'm just asking, because we were talking about that earlier in the year. So,
I mean, we're increasing 5,000 here.
yeah, so I think we'll still be okay.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, not to jump in. The buildings that you're talking about, does any of that include the Glenwood Ave
Yes,
fire?
yes.
Because you're getting money.
That's the one that was supposed to be cleaned up 2 years ago because we got a little bit of insurance money, but yeah, that one's the first one that's gotta come down.
So what do we get for insurance money on it?
You're getting paid the full amount.
Right,
So,
So we'll start.
from restitution, yeah.
Okay? Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. Guess we'll move on. Health Department, is he here?
That's him.
That's him.
You thought you got
So
to leave.
many, so many different, you got too many hats. Put your other hat on.
Yes, I didn't see with that.
17.
We did the guy before you were wrong.
That's only going up $119, and that's all just the salary and that increase, so. Is there anything you want to add in there
No,
besides that? So it's all just basic, the basic.
the basics of what you have.
It's on 17. page 17.
Got it.
I'm okay with all that.
All right.
Thank you.
Are you sanitation department too over here?
No,
right.
I'm out of it. Thank you.
So we're gonna move on to sanitation department, sanitation administration. And we'll do waste disposal, this is right here. 15, 16.
Hello. Good, how are you?
Good. You got a chance to look over it?
16 is so it looks like most of yours is, again, it's gonna be mostly salary and electricity?
Yes, and a little bit of extermination line.
Yep, because they add that,
Yes.
yep.
Just got a couple small changes we gotta do tonight too.
The reason for the electricity line going up, is that because electricity's gotten a little bit more expensive with the lighting and stuff down there, and obviously
Yes.
with the new gate and all that good stuff? Okay.
Yes.
I figured that's what it was.
And the gate is working, by the way.
It's good, but we need to get it, the only thing we need to do is get the rest of, we get kind of talked about that, but that's not a decision for tonight, is get the codes out so that way it can be shut when you're not open.
Yes, we're working on that currently.
Yeah, we had that conversation with Tammy earlier, so.
Alright.
That's obviously not that, it's not like it has to be done today, so
Yes.
it's not a concern. Anything else, Scott? You see anything in there?
No. What was that the salary lines, the big increase? It's not big.
No, the biggest increase would be the electricity,
Okay.
and we don't have control over that.
Yeah.
That's actually really the only increase besides salary.
So you're just waste disposal and the admin, or what about,
When waste disposal's not going up at all. I thought you were having.
I thought we didn't have enough money
I
in,
thought we were gonna increase that this year because
Because we went
something
over.
else was changing.
I don't know what you want me to increase it to.
well,
We have to have that discussion.
Yes.
Okay,
So that
He and I
might.
have had the discussion, but we need to have it with the board.
Yes.
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. So what's different, what's changing down there that we need to increase this line for? I know there was something that was changing. We get charged for
didn't we have
plastic
to,
now.
well, didn't we have to do something with, well, here's a question I got. I wanna bring this up. So we get nothing for plastic right now.
No, we are currently,
Why are we still separating?
Because we were getting a
But,
discounted
okay,
rate
but
for
we're
it.
not now.
We were.
So if we're not getting a discount, why are we separating?
We don't really have to.
We're paying to haul it off now.
Yeah, right, but we were paying, correct me if I'm wrong, it was $35 for plastic.
I get why
and
we were
$72
doing
for
it,
regular
but
trash.
is there
right?
any benefit to segregating it now?
Are we paying the same $72 to get rid of it now instead of 35? So we're paying the same price as
So
what
why
we're paying?
why bother I mean, you can commingle if it's the same price, right?
right.
So you wouldn't have to separate it anymore?
Yeah, I mean, that's something extra you gotta do that you don't need to do.
I'm not against it, but if you're paying the same price, the only benefit you get of separating it now that we're paying the same price is that the plastic isn't getting pulled as much as the trash.
But
So
it
you're gonna
only
cut
goes
down
up.
on tipping fees for that container.
That was the bad
That's it.
thing, Jim.
That's-
Are we cutting down, because I was in there, when I went to the transfer station last week, I was seeing a lot of that stuff was mixed that week.
Oh, the trash, into the trash?
But that was Labor Day weekend then.
Well, if it was this last weekend,
No,
that
I'm
was,
talking last weekend. Oh, you mean
it was this last
Labor Day
Sunday.
weekend, yeah,
That was just a very bad
it
weekend.
was the close of camps and,
How often do you send out the plastic now?
It's about every 5 or 6 weeks.
And you send out the rubbish every week,
Every
correct?
week regardless.
So I mean, you're
And that's
gaining
always-
4 weeks by
So you're
separating.
saying, I just wanna know what the reason is.
In the beginning, we were only paying $35 to get rid of the plastic, so that was the reason. Now they've changed it and they're charging us the same price as
So
regular
it
rubbish.
still benefits us to separate it, because you can put more plastic in
We're
it.
cutting down on the tipping on that one container.
But if you put the two containers together, is it the same price? Because all the you still get.
It's hard
all
to
the
tell you
rubbish.
when know unless you did it for a year, because you can't project. If you stop separating plastic, you can't project how many times you're going to send out both containers. Obviously, you're still going to send out at least one a week, but you can't project how many times how long it's going to take to send out that second.
what do you think?
Well, you're never going to know when the market goes up, and you're going to try and train 4,000 people to do it, and then go back to the old way if it does go back up.
Right.
He's got a point. Plus, then you're going to get you're going to get the complaints of why we're not separating it. At least now we're trying to do the right thing,
Yes.
even though we're not
All
doing the
I
right
was
thing.
just asking the question.
Maybe someday we can,
Yes.
Make money off it,
Make
but I don't
money,
see it.
yeah.
It's just a big thing in all towns right now. It's recycling's kind of
Yeah.
low.
So we need to, which line do we need to increase, I guess is the next question.
Tipping.
Tipping?
Thing.
Okay.
What are you suggesting?
That's 60 grand, right?
Up 60 grand? The whole thing?
Well, no, just up about 15 most likely.
Up to 60,000.
Up to 60?
Yes.
When you said 60 grand,
No,
I was like,
no,
nearly
no,
died.
no,
I nearly died.
We're
They
not,
got quiet for a
we're
minute.
not in that situation yet.
Well, I can tell you, right now, the budget's 11,000 over, and you guys just last week signed another purchase order for $20,000.
So if we bring it up to 60,
So
you
you're
think
gonna
that's gonna be
be
enough?
tentatively about 30,000 over budget on that one line this year.
So we're gonna be almost at 75.
And we're not done the year.
Hopefully that 20 will get us through December.
But we didn't budget
We don't
for
know
the,
that.
we didn't budget for the plastic going up.
And that
either.
whole lamprey thing this year with the truck, and
Yeah.
now we got East Coast pulling, and we got everybody else pulling, and
It's just a messed up year.
so until we
far.
go a full year
Is 15
now,
enough, or should we
we're
do
really
20?
not gonna know where we're at.
I think we should go up 20, just to cover us. Put it up to 65. If we're gonna be close to 75 this year, I can't imagine that we're gonna be able to shave off that
Let's do
much.
60 and see
Okay.
what the whole budget looks like.
Okay, so move it up to 15, 15?
Yeah.
60. Okay.
It was the, he said, it was the next paper line too, right? The sanitation line for next paper too?
Oh, yes, that one.
Yes, we also need to just do a little increase for the sanitation for paper. Because they're pulling, we have to pay to.
We have
get
to
rid
pay
of
for the
it.
cardboard and the mixed commingled paper now. So back on page 16,
Why, I'm just curious, I'm trying to remember, why is that?
Because we're not we used to get paid for it, now there's no
Now we're
market
paying.
in
There's
cars.
a market for
What are
cardboard?
we paying for?
Not unless we bail,
We're
not
paying
unless
the
you wanna get the building
Paying
and
the
start
same?
bailing it and all that good
As for
stuff.
the regular trash?
No.
it's a flat fee per haul
Yeah.
from East Coast.
Yes,
So, it's like $2.50 a pull.
yes.
What line is that, Sandy?
It is the 43211-491 on page 16.
Yeah, I got it, recycled sanitary paper.
Yeah,
so
and we only
need
get
to go up.
$200 in there, and each pull is like $2.50.
So what do you think we need to go
So
up?
I think if I did the math right, it would probably be, if I'm pulling it twice a week, well, I mean, twice a month
Yeah.
in the summer and 3 times in the late, it would probably be about 5,000 to 6,000.
Okay, so if we go up to 5,000.
We need more wood stoves in town. Keep you guys in business.
So that's gonna go up 48. So that's 48.
Either way, we pay.
And either way, we're paying.
7,953 total for that line, for that department.
So what are you putting in, 5 or 6 on that one?
I think we put the 5 that he said, and we'll see what it's gonna be, because that's at $250 a pull. I mean, like he said, he's doing it twice a month, that's 6 months, so that's 12 times 250, that's like 4,500 roughly, and then we might have an extra pull here and there, so I think if we get into a bind where we get a budget, if we're gonna have it pulled and we're not getting a discount on cardboard, plastic, you throw it in with the plastic, because we've had to do that before.
So budget 5,000? That's not, that's only 10 months worth. That's only 10 months worth, 5,000.
But he's going 250.
5,000, we have to pay for all that.
You say it was 500 a month?
So if it's times 6, because you're doing twice a month, so that's
Right, so
24 times 24 is 6,000.
Right, so we have to do 6. Because you said in the summertime it's more sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. And it's probably more when it's Christmas time, and it's probably some months where you're not pulling it twice a month either, correct?
I would say probably early spring, I'm doing, every 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of,
Okay.
it's hard to tell, because it's like,
Just look at this last weekend, I thought I could make an extra weekend, that didn't happen.
everybody's getting ready to go back. The cold, they get that
Yeah.
cold weather, they get all nervous.
I cleaned this weekend. I brought a lot.
So overall, that line's going up to 7,000, would you say 7,000?
That line's going up $7,953. I think. Because because it was 4,800 over the 200, so it was an extra 4,800 to 3,153 that was already there. 3,153, then you add 4,800.
Is that page 17?
Yeah, 7,953.
So that means that this won't be whacked, that number's no good anymore.
That one number's no good no more, yep. So I guess my question to you is there anything that you think we can do as far as programs that might be able to knock these numbers down? I don't know as if there's really anything we can do to help these.
Currently not right now, no.
There's really nowhere else we can take anything.
So recycling's just disappearing?
It's done. Most towns aren't even doing it anymore. Bow actually got rid of it.
Yeah.
They're not even recycling their glass anymore because it's costing them too much to get rid of it. It was on the news and everything. Bow's not doing it. Hooks it, same thing. They're just throwing everything into one trash bin because it's not
costing
feasible.
too much these days right now.
So that goes back.
Costs more to recycle than it does to recycle.
It goes back to the plastic question. So then are these other towns still separating plastics?
Probably not, but it does. I mean, I look at it this way.
I guess I don't know if we're really. I mean, I get the whole mindset, but I don't.
I guess
we're just pretending that we recycle then.
Pretty much. Yes, pretty much. But I guess
I'm doing a lot of work for pretend.
My suggestion to you though is if we fill up on trash, instead of putting it into furniture, I would put it in with the plastic.
What do we get for the aluminum?
I think about every time we pull, it's about $800 or so, just in that rough area.
So that's actually making.
Yeah, that's probably your biggest money maker.
Are we getting full amount now? Because we were giving, what was it, 80-20 or something like that at one point? Are we getting the full shebang?
I'm not sure about that right now.
Okay. But $800 is better than nothing. That's about.
Our metals, coppers, brass, that's where the money is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it tonight.
Something you want to get off your mind real quick?
No.
Okay.
I just know I just gotta have a discussion about, some improvements I like to do over the transfer station. I don't know if that's tonight's.
Well, if it's budgeted, if it's something that needs to be budgeted for, it's a discussion for tonight.
All right, well, I just know a couple of things around there. Come with buildings are falling apart, the sheds, they need to get improved on.
Okay.
So I haven't really known how much to put into that. I'm new at it, and I could use a couple of spots in the transfer station, put a little hot top, like near the, in front of where we're putting the light bulbs now.
Yep.
Because they gotta use the pallet jack, and it doesn't work too well in dirt with the truck.
Okay.
I don't know if a little hot
You're
top
talking about where they put the new building? Where they
Yeah,
put
that new white
shed?
trailer, yep.
So is that something that we can add on to like when they come and pave? I mean, that's such a small section that we can just throw it into one of the paving bids? It's talking like maybe a 12 by 12 foot section.
Yeah,
it's not huge.
too big. I know the concrete pad on the cardboard needs to be replaced, kind of like we did with the trash and the steel a couple of years ago. That needs to be done next year. And one of the part of the retaining wall near the plastic can, that's starting to fall apart, so that needs to get fixed pretty soon.
So what's the? We had to fix that retaining wall last time. How much was that?
Plastic. That's on this side. I don't think we fixed the one on the metal. I know when we did the pads, it was about, I want to say 10 grand.
Oh, we paid that out of the.
We can do those out of the funds. We can do those out of the funds. We can do all of those all of those improvements out of the transfer station fund.
Okay.
So what you need to do is when you're ready to do that,
Yep.
just bring us 3 quotes, and we can take them right out of the transfer station fund because that's all improvements to the transfer station, and that we won't even have to budget for any of that.
That's it for me tonight, then.
Does that sound right? Just get us. You can do that. You can do that now. You can do that now if you come with us with that. We can, although that's not a part of the budget. Is that considered closing of the POs because it's not coming out of the budget?
It's not coming out of the budget. It's coming out of one of the.
So does that mean that he can't do it?
Well,
by the
isn't
time
it
it
kind
closes?
of?
It's kind of late to do any of that now, but
I don't know if you can really do concrete
Now
now.
it's too cool.
you can work on the quotes definitely now.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yes.
But won't they be different if you're talking about April?
Well, you could just tell the people when you're doing the quotes, you're not going to do it till April, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the way we have, it seems like we have a problem getting 3 quotes, so it may take them that long to actually get 3 quotes. We have had issues getting 3 quotes for a lot of things.
He
Is
won't.
that it, Joe?
That's it for tonight.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys.
Have
Have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Don't forget, you get new stuff this year, $300 worth.
Right.
That's right. Ensemble.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna go on to, looks like medical services, page 12.
Jimmy's talking.
Is that the right department? Nope. Okay, so what page is that really, Cindy?
What,
Medical services?
I think there's $1 in there.
It's $1.
That's in case there's an
All right, so
pandemic
let's-
or epidemic and we have to
All right, so that's good
give
then.
these guys shots.
Oh, page 13.
Emergency management? Is he coming in?
Bob coming in.
He was planning on it. I don't know if something happened.
Looks like he only went up $630 anyways, and it looks like it's just supplies.
Let me get there.
And I'm guessing that's probably because he's got that extra little place to store it now.
Well, there is there is, yes, we had asked for some blankets,
Yep.
the pillows, the pillow protectors for the shelter. He just received another 12 cots out of this budget 2 weeks ago, Glenn, I think we got. So we now have 24 cots in the trailer.
Okay.
So he's asking for, the blankets, pillows to go with that. And then there's $1,000 because in 2019 is the odd year, that's the year I have to do the mailings to all the citizens in Northwood.
I'm okay with leaving that.
He was gonna mention this, I guess I will mention it. We're also due to renew or upgrade the EM plan, the emergency management plan, hazard mitigation.
Okay.
Wasn't that done just a couple of years ago?
Oh my gosh, no, that was probably 2010 we did that.
Was that long ago?
It was. So he's looking for a grant, and he's not sure. He keeps putting in my mind 10,000. If he can get it from HSEM, it might be something that we have to do a
50.
grant match.
Is it 50/50?
I don't know that, and Bob's not here to explain it. He's still working on it.
So that's something we can add during budget.
It's gonna be a warrant anyway. It's gonna be a warrant, so he has to have the warrant to the board.
And then
But
I
he
have,
doesn't have the numbers from the state yet himself, so I think that's maybe why he isn't.
I have a question, and maybe Glenn can kind of answer this because I know this was your project with the old pumper truck. Where are we at with that? Are we still trying to use that for emergency management?
So that's still the plan, if I can keep it running long enough.
Is that something that we need to add in this budget, though?
I would say if we do anything, it'd be a warrant article.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure where we were at. That's why I asked. All right. So I guess we're going back to Parks and Recreation. Unfortunately, she's not here. Because that's the last one. We've done everything else. Unless you want to do the rest of the meeting and then go back.
We might as well bang it out now.
Okay.
I have to go back after we do that one to the insurances. I got the quotes.
Okay, thank you.
Parks and Recreation, page 20.
So it looks like the biggest increase would be for the sand for the new for the field up top. Right page.
Parks and Rec, right?
Yep, page 20.
So it looks like that's the biggest increase. That's the only increase besides the salary line and the electricity line.
Yep.
It's like the biggest one is $6,000 extra for, it looks like it says sand for final build out of the Route 4 ball field that's up top.
What's going on with the beach, on the beach attendants? Because they're, are we still having problems hiring them because we're not paying enough?
We had 7 of them last year.
Because it looks like they didn't even come close to spending.
Remember we had all
Well,
that
we had
rain,
the
and we
beaches
had
were
Northwood Lake was
closed
shut
on
down for
and
almost
off.
a
Oh,
month
yeah,
and a
that's
half.
right.
So we weren't paying them because they weren't working.
Right.
Northwood Lake was shut down for
To
almost a month
lifeguard,
and a
we can't go
half.
in the water.
Yeah, at one point all 3 of them, right.
So I guess my question is, if we were to hire the same number of lifeguards, I know that we were paying less than neighboring towns.
There goes the whole wage study, we're paying less than.
Why, the lifeguards?
Well,
Well, the lifeguards in the wage study?
Isn't it
No.
all isn't it
is
every
it all
department?
departments?
Lifeguards never have been. I don't know if Kate put them in this one. I can't imagine why she wouldn't have. Because now they're on the step like everybody else. They never were.
Yeah.
So I can't answer whether she put them in there or not. I
So
would
if they're on
assume-
the, if they're on the
I'd
step,
like to think they would be.
if they're on the
Well, I think they
steps,
are.
how come she didn't increase that line, at least the steps?
Oh, here's Mr. Young, so I see I spoke to him.
We can go back to that real quick after, we'll finish this one up.
I think because we've level funded that for so long, we've never overexpended it, that,
I mean, 2017, we didn't even come close
So some
either.
was at step 2 this year, next year they'd be at 3.
Step 3, some we
Right.
got, some is step 3.
some of them would be, higher than that.
So the biggest one would be the
I wouldn't
sand.
increase it. I don't think you need to. There's no justification for that.
I guess my question with the sand and maintenance up top is why, how come we wouldn't take that money out of the revolving fund?
Good question.
Because that's what it's there for.
Well, the revolving fund is the
That's
proprietary
for,
fund.
that's,
It's
that's,
user fees.
that's used for buying like the equipment
Right.
and stuff.
Fees
We're
come
using
in.
it, we're using it to buy sand to fix up the
Well-
parking lot now for the ice rink, so it's not really much different.
Man, what I would recommend, if the board wants to take it out of the budget, we have the capital reserve for the ball fields. You can do a warrant to put money into that capital reserve because it is empty. And you can do that for a couple of years to reestablish that capital reserve. That's up to the board. But the revolving fund is just that, it's a proprietary fund. It's
So
based on
how,
user fees.
if it's a proprietary fund, how are we using it now to buy sand out of it to fix the parking lot? Because that's not.
We're not, are we?
She's not, no, she,
This is the budget only.
Yeah, but if, so she's
They're not
fixing.
using the sand, they're not using that to pay for the sand.
no, she's taking it like, for example, see this. She
Oh, I don't know,
she
where's she
didn't-
taking it out
She
for this
didn't
year?
use any of this,
Okay.
so that's for the,
Okay.
she didn't use all of her lines. So she
Right.
has money, might not be in the sand line. but
Well, it will
might
be. It'll just overexpend one and
Right,
underexpend
right.
another.
But it all works
Well, that
out
was
in
just
the
my
end.
question. I knew that we were gonna buy some sand, so I thought that's where,
That's coming out of there.
that's what I thought it was, because that's usually where they mostly come out of anyways if it's not in the budget. Just, I'm not saying it
Right.
couldn't come out of there, I
Right,
just didn't
no,
know
no.
why it would be. Now that we're talking
So
about
like, she
this.
explained all that to me, because I had no idea. I had to listen really well to her.
Was she supposed to be here today?
As far as I know, she didn't tell me she wasn't coming. She didn't tell Tammy she wasn't
So are
coming.
you saying that we should go back to the normal 2,000 and start
That,
that
I'm
thing
not
back
saying
up?
that. What I'm saying is,
Start.
the capital reserve has nothing in it. If you guys, I should say you guys, if the town's gonna continue to
What-
keep building on this ball field, we need to make sure this fund's there to do
Well, I
so.
kinda wish that somebody from Recreation was here to explain some of this stuff.
Can I just say that your meeting was posted for 7 o'clock in several places, so.
Really?
That's
Yes.
tomorrow's meeting.
That's tomorrow's meeting.
Oh, really?
The ninth meeting is posted at 7.
Really?
Yeah, because that's why I asked her to.
On the
It
website.
says six on
It
the
says 6 on our paperwork, somebody must have messed up the website.
Down calendar, it says 7.
Oh, so that must have been,
Wow.
is that, who does the calendar?
That, I think that, is it Susan?
Mhm.
Did that
Well, we're very sorry.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So we'll have to adjust that. We'll have to-
Well, Bob, I spoke for you, but I need you at the
You're
table.
so wonderful.
No, because I probably spoke wrong.
All right, well then, let's not do anything with that line in case she shows up at 7 then. Then we can get a discussion. We'll move on with the rest of our meeting and we can always get back to that because I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for that
No, I
information.
wasn't.
So why Bob's here, you want to go back and take
I
care
would,
of that?
I would. I tried to tell them about the upcoming warrant you might need, but I can't fully explain it. And I would prefer that you
But
did.
everything else, you got a chance to explain to them?
I did.
Yeah, because, thank you. And you're okay with
That
that? No
explains why
questions?
some
Good.
people aren't here.
The only thing that we're working on right now, and that's kind of trying to work with the state to get information on it, our emergency management plan, the town's plan, is 2011. Our hazardous mitigation plan is about 2014, but that usually is covered by Stratford Regional Planning. We had hoped to do the town's plan in-house. In fact, all the work really was involved in sheltering, and we've already done that at a regional level and have a plan that comes back to town. Well, we've had such a turnover in terms of just people who would be responsible here. The health officer, the town administrator, town administrator, you know, changes in personnel that it's been very difficult to pull people together. And so by having a contractor comes in, two things happen. One is they end up setting up the meetings, people show up and do the stuff. But they also do the actual writing of it. If we do it in-house, then we've got to beg, borrow, and steal from different people's budgets to get the stuff typed up and so forth. So I'm still thinking we can do it in town. I mean, I think we've got enough of it done. We have all of the boilerplate, the 2011, not much in terms of how we respond. Where we go has changed, the sheltering has changed, but I said that's all done. But if it looks like, and I would hope to come to the board and say, okay, fine, for this year, can we put into a warrant article looking at probably, I think I looked at the last one we did, we put in 10 and then the state comes in, pays half of it, and then the rest of it gets covered by matching funds anyway. But we can't spend the money unless we have it in.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons for the warrant article.
Okay.
And so what I would be looking at would be when would be your deadline to decide that for this year.
Deadline for the warrant articles?
October 29th?
October
All
29th?
right, we will come back to you if it looks like that's something we can do with the state. So there's about 3 contractors. My ideal thing would be to bring back Lee Kibble, who had done it in the first place. But that's it. That was what the story is on that.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's the date?
No, it's still sitting on it.
That's it?
It does say 7.
Does it say 7 for just this meeting or the rest of them?
Does it say it for the rest of them too?
Did she put it in wrong for all of our meetings or just this one? All right, so we'll do the safety complex discussion, and then if Sharon happens to show up, we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Knowing that we had that little glitch of miscommunication on the website.
Before we close budget, can I just go back to these insurance ones and get these
Sure.
done?
Sure.
Before we go on to,
What page?
I have to find it.
Thank you, Glenn, for pointing that out. Just
Yeah.
this done? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so on page 9, if you look at general town insurance, I have the quote from Primex today. It came in yesterday afternoon.
All right, yep.
And that number, according to the quote, which will be billed the same, is $42,922.
So it's gonna go from 56 to 42?
It is
So what is it, 42 what?
922.
Oh, it's going down?
It is
That's gonna go down about 14,000?
$14,000.
Oh, less, a little bit less than 14, but close.
So, okay, so the department request is 42,000?
922.
Which is gonna make that go
I'll change-
down.
yeah,
Hold
change
on,
it
I'll
both.
figure it out right now.
Yeah, I'll change both of them anyway. And then, okay, on page 7,
Yeah.
under unemployment insurance, we budgeted 3067. It actually is going down to 2534.
Unemployment,
Page 7?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Under personnel administration. All right,
so how much is that gonna be?
2534.
What number,
$2,534.
what
It's
page
the
is
one
that?
that's 3067 right now.
Correct.
So that's gonna be 25,
34.
25, 34.
What line is that?
It's on,
Got page 7. but
250,
250? All right, so it's gonna go down to what, 27?
25, 34.
2534.
Mhm. And then the one right below it for workers' comp, we budgeted 36,044. It's actually going up to 38,928.
So it's basically a wash.
Pretty much.
All right, so
So it's 38, 320,
We're hurting them. Yeah, 38,928.
928. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
it's basically a wash, those two are basically
Kinda,
a
yeah.
wash.
Yeah,
So
the
the
real
other-
savings is.
The other,
in
the other one is the decrease is 13,478 if you wanna write it in, Scott.
Sure.
So I have a whole new budget for you guys for next week anyway, but,
Right here.
I just wanted to get those in there so I can make the changes.
All right, so are we okay now? Don't leave yet, 'cause in case they come in.
Okay, so let me remove myself from the table. And they can come up, if that's what you want, so
We're
I'm
gonna
away.
discuss the safety complex design and engineering fund. That's unfinished business. What do you got, Tammy?
Thank you.
The file that was left has an architectural design services contract for 19,000 even. It was left that you guys are trying to pull together a committee for
Yep.
this.
Well, the first thing, I think we should figure out where we're gonna get so he said we could take some of the money out of the, salary line
Nick.
for the fire.
Right, I was under the impression that at the last meeting we talked with Sandy and that you guys, or was it, I'm sorry, 2 meetings ago, you spoke with Kate and that it was supposed to be half coming from the police department's budget and the other half from the fire
Yeah.
department's.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with Chief earlier, and he had suggested he has enough in his budget to pay the whole thing, but earlier, Fire Chief Bassett seems to have already taken care of his half.
Yeah, if he's got money, I've got
I'd like to do half and half, because it's, if that's
whatever
okay with
keeps
you.
the project moving
Just long,
forward.
that was, so if you have your half, then we can move forward. I think that was our biggest concern with
All
moving
right.
forward.
So,
We can sign that contract and move forward with that then.
does that just need the chairman's signature?
It's gonna come through as a purchase order. Do
Okay.
you want that before the whole purchase orders, or do you like them all at once?
Well, why don't we, since we're working on that, why don't we just do that one now?
There you go.
And then, got an update on where we're at with it?
So
real
I
quick?
need a couple things.
Okay.
Sorry to be needy, but
It's all right.
as Jason said, it's going to be feet to the fire. So I definitely need the committee set.
I think we were waiting on, it was Scott was gonna be the selectman representative.
We need two reps, two citizen reps.
Did we get did anybody, send any letters of application that they wanted?
Tim Colby, I believe at the last meeting, said he would sit on it.
I don't think it went in the paper right now, did
It did go in the paper, I believe.
Yes.
And who else was on there? It was you and somebody else that we put on it, wasn't it? The emergency management?
Well, you had Bob Young.
And you.
Police chief,
Myself.
fire chief, emergency management, selectmen's rep, and then two
Yep.
citizens.
So we were just waiting on the two citizens, I believe.
And yes, I'm seeing some email here, police chief, fire chief, select board member Scott, emergency management director, town planner with a question mark, and 2 members of the public. And I do have 2 emails. One is from Justin Miller,
Okay.
and he shows an interest, and the other is Betsy Culver.
I thought we specifically said that we'd only have one representative from the fire department.
I think that came in before you said that.
Oh, okay.
But at that meeting, Tim Colby did step up and say he wanted to be, he would do it, if you remember correctly.
I remember that.
So if Tim and this Justin, we just need, because they are still working ahead. I met with them last Friday. Some
So we
preliminary
just need to appoint
plans
them, correct?
have been drawn up, and they asked, is the committee going to meet? And I said they
Did
haven't.
Tim actually submit a letter of intent?
Not that I've gotten this file that was left.
Have you talked to him?
No, just at that, he was sitting over there and he said, I'll do that.
Before we, I mean, I'm fine with signing the committee, I just wanna firm it up before we appoint the people to make sure they're gonna actually do
So
it.
we can appoint Justin, because he's
We can
already
appoint
showed us.
Justin,
So we can appoint him, all he's gonna do is come in and do his oath of office,
yeah.
correct?
Well, no, I think committee.
It's
not
just a
authority.
review
It's a
committee, so I
review
don't think
committee.
there's
Alright,
any.
we
This
need
is
an
like
oath
a
of office.
subcommittee.
Alright, so we need an oath
So we
of
don't need
office.
all of them.
This committee is just basically to review what they draw and to give feedback. We like this, we don't like that, change. It's not to study it or anything.
When do we start having public hearings?
As soon as, so the second thing is, I need you to decide whether you want to go construction management or budget. At that meeting,
Didn't he?
He pushed one.
He pushed
we
construction
pushed-
management, right?
and that's the way I think you should go. I think the general
So it's-
consensus that day, but in
I'm
order
okay
to
with
get
the construction management.
Yeah, me too.
if you can just take that vote if it needs to be, so I can call them tomorrow, because he needs to get that, and then, after they pick, they're gonna come to a list. These are the people that you should go through once you pick one. after that, they still need about 3 or 4 weeks to develop a budget. And we need that for the warrant article. Without that. we're gonna
So
be
the
dead
warrant
in the-
articles have to be ready by October 29th. Is that what?
No, at that meeting, it was discussed like
I thought-
January.
Well, they need to be to the budget committee by January. We're gonna come to the table. But historically, the board can have a quick 5-minute meeting before the budget committee and accept the warrant. But our warrants are typically going to the board on the 30th meeting.
Oh, I'm talking, okay, that's
Because
a deadline put on by us.
Correct.
Right, the
Oh,
January
okay.
is the state.
All right.
So that's why,
Yeah, okay.
Mr.
That's why we
Young
went forward with this.
and
There was
Elaine
no
work
way
on
that
those
we-
two warrants.
Yeah, so if it's our deadline, we don't need to October 29th, because they need more time for
You
that.
can give them more time.
And our deadline's set like that so they can review them before they go to the budget committee. But that one and the big one for the EM plan may not
So
be.
at this point, because I'm trying to catch on how
Yeah.
you do these things, you set a deadline, but you don't enforce that deadline?
No, what happened is because we got a little bit behind the 8 ball, because we had to figure out where we were gonna get the funding, because we weren't allowed to spend the money, because the warrant article didn't allow us.
So this, when you're saying you can extend the deadline, you're talking specifically.
I'm just talking about the
this
safety
one.
complex, just this
Okay.
one.
Because I just didn't want that to get in the record, and then all the departments think that they can
Oh,
wait
no,
until
no,
last
just
minute.
this
No,
one.
Just
This
the
one,
safety.
And it's because we had to figure out, we had to shore up the funding.
Originally, when we first did it, we didn't,
We thought we were gonna take the money out of the warrant article that was
but it
actually set
wasn't
up.
worded
But
correctly, that
the,
we weren't allowed to expend the money out of that.
Selectmen weren't the agents of the fund.
Okay, and did you correct that, or?
No, we need
No,
to
we gotta go
That's-
do it through a warrant
A
article.
warrant article is going to name them as agents, is what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, thank you.
Well,
No,
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 there'll be
no.
two. So we'll need to do a warrant article to add them as agents to expend on that account.
Yep,
The second warrant article will be the bond warrant article for the project itself.
Right, we can do the one for us to be the agents of the account.
So
before
my
the
under-
because that's
It
easy.
has no money attached to it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep,
if I may.
go ahead.
So my understanding was we wouldn't even deal with trying to get a bond until like the summertime, but we'd have to ask the permission to get the bond. And they're gonna give us a solid
Construction
estimate.
management will give you a very,
And would they be able to, give us, what they estimate the bond rate would be?
I believe that was asked and that was said that the town administrator would have to get that from the bond bank.
Municipal bond bank?
So basically, I just need permission tonight to start rallying this committee together, even if you have to appoint one more, because we need to start reviewing some of the stuff there.
So let's make a motion I'll make a motion, it's Justin,
Miller.
Miller.
I'll make a motion to appoint Justin Miller to the, Safety Complex, Building Committee.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll touch base with Mr. Colby and if
Yeah, I mean, I just want
If
to
you
firm
can
it
get
up.
him by next week, because we have a meeting next Tuesday, we can always, and if you can't get him, if there's somebody else that you know that might want to sit on it, besides a
I won't be
firefighter.
here next Tuesday. I'll be
That's,
on
that's
Thursday.
okay,
I'm
we can
just
still
letting you
appoint
know.
him, I understand that.
Today I'm coming in.
What?
Today you're coming in?
Oh,
Okay.
It's okay.
And I look at, if he's not here, if there's something that we don't touch on, he can always touch on it during budget committee. Give him all the crap, I do it all the time.
And then just whether you're gonna go with construction
It's
management.
not a vacation, it's a meeting.
Motion for
I feel
that.
we need a motion about construction.
I'll make a motion to go with the construction management option.
I second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
So just to give you an update, I did meet with them on Friday. They have some preliminary drawings made up on 2 different pieces of land that I don't want to speak on now because we haven't approached
That's
any of these
non,
people.
yeah, you can do that in non-public if you're talking about negotiations of land, so
Right.
that's, yeah.
One is really good, one is okay, but it has downside to it. So, so they are moving forward, they have those drawings. If you want to stop by the PD at some point, I can show them to you.
Are you in tomorrow?
I will not be here tomorrow.
I do have to make one more motion, so I'll make a motion to approve the purchase order for SMP Architecture with, I know Sandy can do it tomorrow, but with half the money coming out of the fire department's salary line. I don't know, do you wanna,
Well, I'd rather.
I guess it doesn't matter. And
Well, I'd
then,
rather take it out of their building line so it's properly classed.
Yeah.
And then we'll just overexpend that line and underexpend the
Okay.
salary line, because you want it classed
so
properly. for
with the understanding that 50% will come from the fire department's budget and 50% will come from the police department's budget. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Okay, guys, you already signed it.
Do you know if the town administrator has done any work with the municipal bond bank?
I don't believe so.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, it's not, we can't even approach them until we get approval to get a bond.
So you haven't even gotten permission to do that? This year, the warrant.
No, we had a warrant article to ask to get a bond.
So we can't do any of that.
Can't do
You
any
don't
of that.
have it, okay.
Yes,
We can't do any of that until it
So
We
that's
can't even get
after the
that,
fact.
yeah,
Okay.
we can't.
I didn't
even-
know that you didn't already have a warrant.
No.
This is the year we're going for it.
So the
We're
year
just
we're-
trying to get.
So we need to know how much money we gotta put in.
I know, it's like, I
Well,
don't know all
we're
this.
basically asking permission to get, like, say that complex is $3 million, to put out a bond for $3 million.
Right. This
You're just
19,
doing it very general, okay.
yeah, this
Well,
19,000 is paying for them to design it and come up with that number so we can create that warrant article. Right, kind of?
They're making our vision.
At the end of this 19,000, you
You'll
will
have that
you will
vision.
have a
We'll have the warrant
warrant article saying,
Yeah.
And a
This
this is how
plan.
much it's gonna cost, this is what we are asking for, this is what it looks like, this is where it's gonna go.
Yep.
Perfect. I understand now, thank you.
Anything else, Glenn?
No, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks, Glenn.
And the Red Sox are winning 2-1. in the
I know, I
fifth.
saw that. Thank you for the update.
You
Never
like to
played
know
it.
the score? You like to go home and
ESPN on the phone. All right, so seeing that we're gonna keep going, we'll go town property sale bids, 383 Bull Lake Road. That would be Spike Bryant's property.
I'm sorry. The 383, yes. The property has been paid in full. This is
Now,
map 105, lot 2, located at 383 Bull Lake Road.
now I have a question. When we originally did this, we were supposed to be doing with that's Spike Bryant's property, correct?
No,
No? Okay.
that's on
that's
Turbine
different.
Hill.
I'm going by what's on.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that one down here in the corner. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. All right, never mind.
Did you get, okay, sorry.
Sorry, you're all
Did we
right.
get
Are you going
bids?
by what's on this agenda?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I'm sorry. I thought it said Ridge Road. I'm sorry.
Oh, no
Bull
problem.
Lake Road. That's the property we just took down.
Correct.
But didn't we award that last week to Mr. Burgess?
I believe so.
Yes, it's been paid in full.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It appears that you keep it on here as unfinished business until it's paid for.
Oh,
and
okay.
And
It
the
is
finance
closed out.
department,
Okay.
what I
he paid it
have,
really? Because we said, told, remember? A week? Or no, we said Friday or something. It was
Yeah,
like,
he came in a week ago Friday.
oh, there you go.
Good.
He did.
and I have 2 quitclaim deeds that need to be corrected. One had been sent out to the registry and sent back, because there's 2 different ways of the deeds being prepared. The grant is exempt from transfer tax under RSA 78B2. 2 different ways. If you're selling it back to the previous owner, you pay the town more, the previous owner pays tax. But if you're selling it to a new owner, it needs to be paid. The way that it had been submitted to the registry of deeds was incorrect, so I'm researching that. I'll fix both of these deeds for you and resubmit.
Okay. So we'll go on to accepting of minutes.
Okay. We need to talk about the process of minutes. It appears that what has been going on in the past for the Board of Selectmen is that Thursdays, your agenda gets posted and you get packets mailed to you. Obviously, you guys know you've contracted with me, I'm not here Thursdays.
Okay.
I'm here Fridays. So would the board still like to have the packets pulled together and mailed Fridays, or would you like to pick them up? Because you may not get them timely enough to
I
be
can
able-
pick mine up on Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, I pick it up.
Scott? I can also create mail slots for the selectmen in the office and put them in there, and over the weekend, anyone
Sure.
can
So if
stop
we don't
in.
pick them up,
Would that
don't-
work?
That would work.
Right, that's what my thought is. I'm gonna
My
have
only-
one
my-
for each of you, and then I will put things in there
That'll
for you.
work, that'll work for me.
My only concern is I don't actually have a code for the alarm if I happen to come in here on a Saturday.
You guys don't have it?
I was never,
Yes,
I was never given one.
I think you were.
I have a code. You must have a code.
Yeah, I'll
No,
look
I
at-
know I don't have a
I'll
code.
look.
Yeah, she skipped
Well,
me.
well, they can set you up with one.
I know, I'll come in on Friday, it's not a big deal.
Then
I'm
you
out
don't
of
have to worry.
work. I'm
But
out of work early enough that it's
I'm
not
gonna
a big
have
deal.
that there, so even if during the week you stopped in and something came in specific to any of you, I'll have that for you to be able to look at in and see. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I never wanted the code actually, so that's why I know I don't have one.
And a lot of selectmen don't want a code, I understand that. But as long as you're here Friday,
I'll be here
it's
Friday.
not gonna be a
Not that
problem.
big of a deal. Or I'll
Okay.
come in on Monday if I have to.
I have a code.
You have a code. Okay, so we have, from what I've been brought up to, is that you guys got the copy for the September 25th minutes, the
Yep.
draft,
Yeah.
and that you would be ready at this meeting to be
I'll
able
make a
to.
motion to approve the September 25th minutes as
Second.
written.
Any discussion? I would just like to note that in the past, we've had it line by line to make it easier for us to say we want to fix line 2 or whatever. And it's not set up that way now.
They put lines down the side so
So
you
that
can
way
say.
it'd be easier if we
on
want to say we
page-
want to fix
Oh,
something.
okay, so
So-
you want these lines, when it comes to you as a draft, you want
The
numbers.
line.
Like, so if it'd be like, so, say Miss Hamilton, blah, 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 would be line 1, and then the next one would be line 2, so that way if we have a fix, we can say line 2, so it's quicker for us to go to what we're fixing at a meeting.
Okay.
Whereas if it's just one big draft, you have to kind of look to where it needs to be fixed.
The new municipal secretary probably did not see the old drafts, is what I would assume. She's only been
Probably
here
not.
for 3
But
meetings.
it's a simple, that's a simple fix.
That's easy.
Right.
It's a simple fix.
I don't think she was doing it yet.
No, this is the first one. This is the first one. It's a real simple fix.
I will, okay,
Thank
I will
you.
make sure that gets put in
But
place.
Just makes it easier
but tell
for
her
us
she
to
did a good job,
Yeah, any more discussion?
because it was very nice.
Any more discussion?
No.
I'll call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. Do we have any assessments?
Nothing was submitted to me?
Any manifests?
Yep,
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, I'll make a motion to approve manifest 2018 number 23 in the amount of $89,374.79.
Is that a vendor manifest or a payroll, or what is that?
This is a final AP manifest.
Vendor B.
That's why it's a B.
Okay, great.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. Purchase orders? Surprised we got, oh, we do have a bunch. We already took care of that
We'll
one.
do that one.
So we don't even need this one, this is the whole set, this is a different one. We don't need that one,
What is this?
that's the same one that we just
We
signed.
just signed.
You already had one?
Someone.
So you do two?
Oh, Kate must have written that one out. Okay, I didn't know there was
I'll
one.
make a motion for East Coast Compactor to replace
You don't need it?
phase converter and control unit with new vector drive and control panel. And it's coming out of the transfer station trust fund in the amount of $4,150.
Second?
I just have discussion on that, and goes back to the 3 quote thing. I don't think we've even saw a quote for this until just now.
So did we get 3 quotes?
I'm guessing no, because I haven't heard anything about this until you just read that.
Would you like to table it?
No, I mean, if it
Isn't
needs to be
there
fixed, it
actual-
needs to be fixed.
Did we rent it from them?
No, but they're probably one of the only few, there's only like 2 or 3 of them that actually fix those things.
Sometimes we can't get 3
But
quotes.
I guess my point is we never even got a quote at all. We just got a purchase order. This kind of goes back to what we've been
No,
having.
you got a quote right here.
All right, so we did get a quote, but
Does your procurement policy allow for if it's like,
Sole source?
yes?
I think I think it does, but they have to kind of ask when they put the
Well, they
proposal
should
in.
put it on the
They-
purchase
yeah.
order. When they submit it, it should say sole source. That way you won't have to question, why didn't I get my 3 quotes? Because they say it's a sole source. That's like the only company
And
that
usually
will
there's
do
a
it.
reason they'll put down, this is
Right.
the only company that does this.
I'm okay because this is a local company. And I guess it's just kind of semantics that we've had a lot of
Yeah,
questions with this before.
there is a,
There is a quote on the
Yeah.
back.
oh no, they actually got, looks like it's an invoice, so they already got the work done.
So this goes back to what we've been saying before about getting the work done before we get the PO. Because this is a
Who-
problem,
which
this is an
department is
ongoing
this?
problem that we've been
It's
having
Joe.
for a while.
It's,
It's not just him though,
No,
we've
it's
had
not
it for
just
all
him.
the
Maybe a
departments.
friendly reminder to all.
We've had a lot of departments that have done this, that we get the invoice, and then we get the, they've already got it done, and then we get the PO.
And there hasn't been approval by the board?
No,
in
this
any
is the
way?
first time I've seen this.
and, they did it on 9/24.
Yeah, so it's not just them, it's been happening, it's happened several times.
Didn't I say something a couple meetings ago about how we need to, stop this?
You actually said it before that came through, you did.
Yeah,
But this was before,
But that was,
this was
that was.
prior to the change of administrator.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
that's actually, they've been notified a couple times actually already.
Oh, I've done, they've been notifying since,
This is the higher, yeah, but just.
But,
all right, so, all right.
all right, so I'm gonna call, any more discussion? Call for vote, I was just making a point, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
So what would the board like in the future? If
I mean, we've told the department heads
Yep,
umpteen gazillion times
okay.
to not do anything until the purchase order's been approved.
So
Okay.
we need a quote, and we need the quotes to come to us
And if they
before.
can't get 3 quotes, we need a reason why they couldn't get 3 quotes and why it's sole source.
So we need to hold them accountable. Have they ever come in?
Correct.
To talk with the board about this, one-on-one? Or has the TA had any conversations with them, do you know, or?
Well, she should have, I know we explained it to her several times.
It's,
So
This
if
is
they're
actually,
submitting
this
to
actually
me-
predates the previous town administrator, this goes back to the previous town administrator, we were having this issue. This isn't just a new thing.
Okay, all right. So what you're asking me to do is when I see these department heads, explain to them that they are not permitted to submit these without going through the process. And they all have procurement policies, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay, great. No
We
problem.
can resend another one, just.
Right, I think we
I
should
think
start
we'll
fresh.
attach it, Yeah.
Tell everyone
Okay.
again.
Okay.
so, did we vote on that?
Yes, we
Okay.
did.
I'll make a motion to approve contracted services with Stratford Regional Planning. Is there a reason this says September?
That's their invoice.
For the
That's
month?
That's the contract.
For the whole, that's just for, is this for the,
That's just September's dues, September's work.
just 1
Yes.
month?
Yep, for the
Okay.
contract.
In the amount of $3,056.27.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I get sick, I'm gonna not be happy.
And then I got one more for Northwood Conservation Commission. 2017, current use change fees, charge fees?
Yeah, we have to pay 50%.
Yeah, okay. And that's in the amount of $19,880.
Any discussion? See you none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so now we're gonna go, any miscellaneous signatures?
Yes. How does the board like to have these? Do they like to have them read out and ask for your motion or your signature? Or does the chairman read them into the record and deal with those? There's a various grouping there of correspondence.
Oh, these are,
Things that require motions, action from the board or signatures.
yeah. So what's ready, do you know what ready rides?
She dropped it off this afternoon and said to give that to the board of
Got a pack
selectmen.
papers today.
Ready rides, transportation assistance, this is just their accomplishments and goals.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are we actually approving? Or are we just reading it into?
Are we
record?
just reading this into the record, I
Well,
think?
it appeared to me when she dropped it off that it was maybe a company you donate monies to and she's
Yeah.
giving you
She came
information.
last week and said she couldn't come this week, remember?
All right.
Yeah, she asked for.
So this is basically their, Ready Rides provided curb-to-curb rides at no charge to all medical-related appointments for those residents living in Northwood that are 55 plus and disabled, and the disabled vetted volunteer drivers use their own vehicles to provide transportation services. Mileage reimbursement is available for all drivers. Ready Ride also provides rides to residents living in Barrington, Lee, Madbury, Newfield, Durham, Nottingham, Newmarket, and Stratford. Ready Rides is not bound by travel distance. Accessible rides are available. So the number of vetted Northwood drivers are 3. The total number of confirmed trips completed were 976, and the number of registered Northwood residents using our service was 47.
Wow. Pretty good.
A wonderful service.
So if you reference your budget, it's 1,500 that they're asking from the town.
Okay. I know they had also asked for us to do some, possibly, do some more, advertising for some more drivers. Did we do that for them?
Private entity.
Okay, so they have to do it, we,
Right, it's a church, we can't do that for them.
we can't put it on our website or anything?
That,
No.
That I
that a
don't know.
nonprofit is looking for employees? No. we
Okay,
can't do that.
because I know she, Mrs. Smith had asked me.
Yeah, they did approve the 1,500 for the budget.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then I got,
I know she had.
I got a letter from the Saddle Mountain Lions Club. Once again, the Lions Camp Pride, in conjunction with Northwood Lake Ice Racing Association, is planning to sponsor ice racing on Northwood Lake during the months of December 2018 through 2019. So they're asking for a motion to,
Accept or deny?
well, I'll make a motion to accept their request to authorize ITA.
Interim town administrator?
Oh, and authorize the interim town administrator to sign the letter. I'll make a motion to approve this, weather permitting.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0 to allow the town administrator to sign that.
I'd like to accept the resignation effective on 10/27/18 of Adam Schwab
With regret.
with regret.
Any discussion?
Do we do exit interviews? Is that
I
something
think we
we
should
The
start doing.
department heads are supposed to do them.
The department heads are supposed to do them, but you maybe,
The school
maybe
board
it
does
just-
them now.
Huh?
The school board does.
Would you like to do an exit interview?
I think
I think we should
with the
for
fact that this is my thing, with the fact that we may be going to a full-time chief with this, it might not be a bad idea where this is a fire department situation to do an exit interview, so we can kind of,
Do you want to have him come in Tuesday night?
you're not gonna be here, do you want?
It's all right, you guys
yeah,
can
we'll
do
do
it.
it next Tuesday, if he'll come in next
I
Tuesday?
thought we weren't meeting next Tuesday, we're meeting the Tuesday after.
Can you not meet next Tuesday?
No, because we changed it for Scott.
No, that was, oh yeah,
We changed it
we
for
changed
Scott.
it to the 30th.
Oh, all right.
So we're not
But
meeting.
but you want, not gonna be able to do an exit interview with him because he's leaving the
So do you wanna
27th.
meet to just do that?
They need to be
I
aware.
mean,
All right, so
can
we're
I-
gonna meet next Tuesday. We'll have a quick meeting next Tuesday to just meet with him and nip.
It'd be
any quick-
non-public.
Is
next-
that the 23rd?
Yes, that would be the 23rd.
See, I was told that's your
your
real
regular
board of selectmen.
It is, but we had kept it on, this is what happened, is Scott can't be here, so we planned on having a budget meeting on the 30th. Maybe, and maybe we can switch, Glenn to the 30th too, and then just do we were gonna do just like a work session on the 23rd. We were kinda keeping that open. We didn't know if we were gonna use that date,
Okay.
so we left it on the calendar in case we needed to use it for interviews for some of the positions we needed to fill.
Yep.
And it looks like now we can use it to do this and maybe nip anything else that we need to nip in the butt that day. And then,
Because I'm keeping more stuff for your real meetings, because this was your budget meeting.
Perfect.
So, but now you're not having that meeting, and as you know, I'm not here that last week of October.
so do you
So-
wanna,
I
have
can
a
do it, yeah. it's fine.
We'll have a regular meeting on the 23rd. Scott's just gonna have to catch up.
It's fine with me.
We'll do the
Because
budget.
I just
We'll
want-
have a
I-
regular meeting on the 23rd and we'll do the budget on the 30th. So I guess it's just ask Glenn if he's able to switch to the 30th or whoever's on the budget.
We have a lot next week, and there's some of the big ones, right? You have police commission.
I believe that was the
On the
plan.
23rd?
Okay.
Oh, next week on the 23rd.
No, because they were going
I thought we weren't having a meeting next week.
We weren't.
I'm not gonna be here either way, so,
We were just having this discussion.
all right.
This is just
There's
all
a meeting
routine.
scheduled for next week.
What is on the budget for next week? What's on
We
this?
have selectmen's budget, police,
We've already
PD.
done the selectmen's budget.
No,
police
PD.
commission, police department, animal control, wage PD, grant program, planning and zoning, conservation, budget administration, library treasurer, trustees of trust funds,
What was on the 30th?
audit services.
There
That
isn't
is,
even anything on
that
the
is the 30th.
So that, our plan was to move the 23rd to the 30th.
Well, it wasn't moved.
It was supposed to be.
And she even did the
That
agenda.
was our plan, yes, that was our plan.
And she did the agenda for the 23rd already,
Where is she?
so, okay. So we
That
can,
was,
that's gonna change.
that was our plan was
We
to
got
move
some
that
pretty
for
big ones
Scott.
coming next week.
Our plan was to move that for Scott, was to move it to the 30th.
Can we do him like a 5:30?
So if that's
Yeah.
gonna work, that's fine, but I won't be. As you know, I'm not here, I'm out of the state. Right.
That's fine.
Okay, so if you don't want to do the 23rd, that's perfectly fine, and then we can just put it on the 30th on this calendar, because it was never put here. And I can make sure that that gets posted correctly.
Do you want to do the
for you.
budget on the 30th for you and then?
I don't wanna, if people are expected to come in and we don't.
the fun of the budget.
I've been
I'll be doing a budget,
25 years of those.
actually, I'll be doing the meeting I'm going to, I'm developing a
bigger
budget,
budget.
a bigger budget than this budget, so.
Let's just keep it the 23rd and then that way it's, because it's already been on there.
That's fine.
Alright.
Come to
And
5:30
we
if you
can,
want.
can we bump that meeting up to 5:30?
It hasn't been posted. from
It's
what
not
I
been
understand.
posted, so
So
you
let's
can.
bump it at 5:30 and let's see if
Alright.
Mr. Schwab can come in at 5:30 and we'll dump
So
him
we
off
got some more of
right away.
these
Yeah,
raffle permits and such.
5:30.
He'll be working somewhere else until he gets out at 6 at the next show.
Well, we can have him come in when he's ready then, that's fine.
We'll just figure out what.
No, that's fine, we can, we try to get anything non-public out of the way first.
What day was he actually working that week, do you know?
He's working here Mondays, Monday, Wednesday here in Northwood, and then he has another job, he works Tuesday.
We'll just have to have him come in after and we'll just bang him out when he gets here, that's not a big deal.
Just figure that shit out.
That way we can get, it sounds like we have a pretty big budget on that week anyway,
So
so.
you want him to come in at 6 o'clock when he gets
6
back?
o'clock and we can just go to him, we'll just have
Does it give him
to,
time to get here though?
or whenever he can get
He gets
here.
out of his other job at 6.
Whenever he can get here, as long as he comes in.
Yep.
If he, just tell him the name of time, if he can come in at 7, we'll set him at 7, and if we have to stop what we're doing, we'll do him right then and there.
Well, and the other thing that I would like to ask the board is that it appears that when you do your budgets, you don't give a time. So I had department heads coming in saying, what time am I on? What time am I
Yeah,
on?
that's
I'm
what
like,
Nick asked me
I
this
don't know.
morning.
Oh, normally it was gonna go right through the bing, bing, bang, but Nick called him this
Well,
morning.
Nick asked me what time,
No,
and
I'm
that goes back to
saying-
what she was saying.
Yeah, usually when a town posts an agenda and you're gonna have your department heads sitting here paid, you wanna have a time so that they know that they're supposed to be at 6 and maybe the next one's 6:15 and the next one's 6:30. You don't do that?
We did.
But this is being posted
That would
as
just
just
make
one
sense.
run-on meeting. So they're asking me, the building inspector said I'm supposed to be here, but I have no idea what time. So I wanted to make sure,
if they're
I do my
paying every 2 hour
agendas different than what you guys
It's
have
still a
seen.
2-hour callback.
You'll actually see a time next to
If you're,
them.
I'm okay with doing it by times.
Yeah, if you want to do it
Okay,
full time. I'm
that
fine
way
with that.
the department heads know what time to be here.
That's the first question that Nick asked me. He didn't ask me first to be first, he asked me what time he was supposed to be here. And then I said, if you want, I can make you
This
first.
could just be because it's a new TA that didn't do it
That's the way it was
that
last year, it's the way it's been since I've been here, so we've never had time since I've been a selectman.
Okay. Are you guys okay with times, or would you
Absolutely,
prefer
I
to
think it
just-
makes sense, then they don't have to sit here through when they don't need to be.
Okay, we will have times, and I will
So-
let them know.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got stuff here
All right,
that
okay.
I'm not done yet.
Well, hurry up.
Not done yet.
You went off on this whole other tangent, man. All right, I got a raffle permit for the Lung Cancer Research Foundation, Dylan Hoswell, Coburn Northwood Academy. Getting approved raffle permit. The price of the tickets are $1 and the drawing date is November 17th. I'll make a motion to approve that raffle permit.
I second that.
Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
I have a raffle permit for a craft fair at Coburn freshman class. Multiple prizes, crafts. Price of tickets is $20 for, 20 tickets for $5, and the drawing date's on November 3rd of 2018. I'll move to approve that raffle
Second.
permit.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
I have a delegation of deposit authority pursuant to RSA 4120. Do you know a little bit? Is this,
I do.
okay, could you explain a little? I haven't.
The treasurer needs to delegate deposit authority to the town clerk, tax collector, and her deputy. And The ones we have on file, obviously, are the former town clerk.
Yeah,
And in Savannah's, her paperwork says deputy.
Yeah.
She's now no longer the deputy, so hers have to be changed.
okay.
And she has a new deputy that needs to be appointed to be able to delegate those deposits.
And that, this is basically the two documents to do that.
Yep, and those came right off the state. She got those from the state website several years ago.
So, I'll make a motion to approve the delegation of deposit authority for, Dolores Fritz as deputy town clerk tax collector.
Any discussion? See none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Got a little premature there, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it.
I'd also like to make a motion to, now that Savannah Audit is the town clerk, so we're just changing, we're changing it to that she's now town clerk tax collector, and I'd like to approve the delegation of deposit authority for her, so I will move that.
Second?
Any discussion?
No.
Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
And then, I guess we had some questions about this avatar,
Yeah, the question was, is we thought it was somebody else that was doing that.
and it wasn't.
It wasn't, because it was a different, so that we got.
So do we need a motion?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the contract with Avatar Associates of New England.
And that is for the wage study, correct?
No,
What is that for?
it's for export
Oh,
cards
yeah,
for
okay,
PDF.
that's right, that's for the map cards, I'm sorry.
Oh, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's for that guy that came in and did that demonstration
And
for
I
us.
think this
So
is
this
just,
is for your assessing information to be out on
Yes.
the website.
I would like to add something to that motion to allow the chairman to execute this contract on behalf of the board.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those
Passes
going to that
3-0.
folder.
Today is the 16th. Anything else, Scott? Is that it? Anything else from you?
That's it for those things.
So the TA presents, I have a few questions. An E911 data operations liaison form came through,
Okay.
and it looks like a Scott LaCroix and a Richard Antoine have been put on here, but it had been suggested that maybe at an earlier meeting, the selectmen had said Diane was to be on here. I'm just trying to get clarification of who it is. And once you do, the selectmen need to sign that these are the approved. Have you motioned this already?
No.
Okay. So,
So why would, just a follow-up, is there a reason that we put Diane on this?
I don't know, it wasn't a meeting that I was at.
I don't remember
I don't
this
remember.
discussion at
I
all.
don't remember this
Minutes.
discussion at all.
I don't either.
then those are the two reps that have been filled out on the form for the board's approval and
Okay.
motion.
I'm okay with that.
Is there a suggestion that Diane be added?
Not for me. I don't know. I wasn't at those meetings to be here for that discussion.
I don't even remember talking about
And I
it.
don't know actually why she would be either. So that wouldn't make sense to have her on there.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve this 911 data operation liaison form. And that it's going to have Scott LaCroix and Richard Anton on there as primary and secondary contact. So moved.
It's gonna be signed by me.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that motion to allow the chairman to execute it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
The next item that is in here is, it looks as though you guys have been looking for 3 quotes on town hall roof repair and center school building.
Can you put the mailing address on there for me, for the town, after, please? Thank you.
Is the board familiar with that?
What is
Looking for some
it?
quotes for town hall roof repair and
Yep.
center school building.
Yep,
It
that was,
appears that Gold Medal LLC is booked until next year. New Hampshire Roofing and Carpentry is not submitted back to date, and Layton Roofing has submitted a quote for you. And the roof of the schoolhouse and the items that were proposed comes to $2,500, and the one for the town hall is $10,500.
okay, I have an update of the summer school. I was in there when the building inspector and I believe it's the fire inspector was in there. And it was their recommendation before we put a new roof on that, because the foundation is sunk, that we have to fix the foundation first, because if you don't fix the foundation first, when you fix the foundation, after you do the roof, it's gonna re-change the pitch of the roof. So I think we need to put that one off and do just the town hall, and then we need to get a quote to get the foundation fixed. Because, in other words, the foundation is sunk in one corner, and if you do the roof now and then pick that up, that's gonna tweak the roof again.
Does the town put these in their regular general fund budget, or do you
We
have?
put,
That's the
was that
facility
put in
fund,
the
I think.
facility committee?
That was
Well,
gonna be-
I'm gonna ask, was it?
No, that was something that we were gonna put in this year's budget. I thought that's what Kate was gonna do.
So these two numbers are just getting pulled together for the 19's budget?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're also looking now for a foundation number for the
And I think we're gonna
19's
have to. I
budget?
don't think we can do the roof without doing the foundation, because it wouldn't make any sense to do the roof, and then after you do the roof, you do the foundation, and that's gonna obviously make the roof not the same. It's gonna make the roof not right.
It's gonna change the pitch.
So how
it
do
might
you want,
break it.
how do you want these presented? Do you want like the town hall, you want them all in one, or do you want town hall repair?
I think it needs to be
Center-
separate.
I'd like to make, I'd like the town hall repair to be separate, and then the school be its own,
With two different items?
yeah.
Okay, so two warrant articles. Okay, center school has two things that are, okay, gotcha.
I think they need to do the foundation and then the roof, and then they can go from there, whatever else it is.
Yeah, do town hall separate.
Center school, one for the foundation.
Okay.
Because I was in there when the building inspector was in there, and that's exactly what he said. If you go in, have you been in there? The far corner is like,
Joe took me in.
there's like a
Well-
dip. There's like a dip in it, and you can see the mold on the side.
It obviously won't be prepared for your October 29th date. I would find it very quick if you got a quote or 3 quotes for a foundation that quickly. So this is going to be another one of those that you're going to put in later. You're going to accept a late warrant request?
We can put the request in and just not put the funds in. We've done that before with some of the other ones.
Well, some of them, those because they're revenue based.
Okay.
But they're not even gonna go to the budget committee until December 2nd. Do you have a bond?
I'm fine to take some additional time to get the quotes.
Okay. Right.
And we'll talk about
Anything else?
The transfer station gate, it appears that there was a question out there on getting the gate set up to automatically open. And after research and speaking with people, it appears that wouldn't be an option for the town because on holidays it would automatically open.
That makes, I didn't think of that when we actually thought about that option. Okay, so that means basically it can be set up right now so it would open to their time, but if Monday's a holiday, it would
You don't want it open if nobody's gonna be
Exactly,
there.
So with that being said, Pete came in today and had a conversation with Sandy and I, and he says that he needs some additional codes for vendors. To let them,
Which vendors is he?
NRRA takes care of the refrigeration, air conditioning, light bulbs, and the iron.
Okay, I'm okay with that one.
Bob's takes care of the tires.
Okay with that one.
Planet Aid takes care of the clothes.
I'm okay with that one.
Harding takes care of aluminum cans and scrap metal.
I'm okay with that one.
Working on a vendor for sand at this point.
Wonder if we're not,
Huh?
wonder if we're not okay.
I don't need one. I know how to get in there without the gate.
I'm just gonna put them all out because there seems to be quite a few that you're gonna, but the thing is we're not sure, Pete said he's not sure how many codes you guys bought that can go into that. So if you start giving out too many, you might not
Yeah,
have
let's-
that capability.
No, that was how, we bought 6 clickers, but I think it's endless amounts of codes. I don't see why there'd be a
I
number.
wasn't here.
It was clickers were 6, we got 6 clickers.
Okay.
I don't really know.
I think that.
Yeah, the
I
clickers
think
have already
that-
been dispersed.
yeah,
But I don't know why there'd be a limit on the codes that goes in that machine. Maybe there is, but I don't see why there would be.
Well, we can try it, and I just wanted to make sure that
But-
these were,
Did the fire department and the police department already get theirs?
they don't want clickers, but they have codes, and it was on the list that was given to me, but I can check up to make sure they actually got
Kate
them.
want like 2 clickers here or something, that way people,
Let's get the codes out first. We can always get the clickers, the extra clickers after. You know what I mean? 'Cause
I think the 6 were enough of clickers.
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest question was this, I think I asked, and this is something you can ask Pete, because I had asked Charlie before that, and he didn't give me a quite answer, but now that Charlie is no longer here, we had asked Pete if he wanted to get 2 extra clickers for his plow drivers, but he'd have to take them out of his budget, so that way, and then they would have to return them at the end of the year, because he actually has 4 plow drivers, and right now he's only got 2 clickers. So instead of them getting out of their truck and entering a code, they could, when they're plowing, they could click and get in, but they'd have to, that would be the part-time drivers. They would have to return them at the end of the winter.
So 2 extra clickers for the plow drivers.
That's if Pete wants to take it out of his budget and do it. And how much they were, we've been waiting on that answer for a while, how much extra they
And the
were.
price was included.
She actually has on her notes $15 to $20 each.
Oh, that ain't no big deal, then I don't even think we need to ask them, let's just get 2 extra for that price,
2 extra
that's minimal.
clickers ordered.
That's minimal, that's not even a
Okay.
concern. I was thinking they were gonna be like 500 or something, you know, that's so minimal.
Yeah. So, and Morton, for your salt, sand is, he's working on trying to get a vendor, but it's usually Fillmore, Daco, or Parent.
Okay.
So that would be the list that he's asking permission for the
I'm okay with
new
all,
codes.
I'm okay with all those.
All the board members okay with that?
Maybe we should call Superior and ask them though before we start doing that, because maybe we might have to give some of the same, vendor the same code. You know what I mean? So like we could give all the transfer station vendors the same code, so we're not getting too many codes.
I don't know about that.
You want to.
Why did you, yeah, because usually you get codes because you want to know who's in,
going
who's
in.
out.
Right,
So if
so-
you give the same
so
code
if
to 10,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
okay. So if that's what your idea was.
No,
you
that
don't
is what
want-
our idea was.
Yeah, so you don't want them to have the same.
Our general idea was is for it to be shut when the highway department's not there, because they were having issues of people going in when the highway department was out and about and the gate was open. And they'd go in and leave their trash or back up to the sand and take sand and salt when there was nobody there because the gate was open. That was the main reason of doing that gate to shut behind
So
them.
there's no reader for you to be able to go in there and say, you know, to get information back out of that as
Sure
to
there
who was in there
I don't know the
last in
actual.
case there was something that was missing. I didn't know the actual reasoning behind this project. If it's just so that they can get in and out.
The gate was put there so that, you wouldn't have trucks going in and getting sand and, remember we had
yeah.
you weren't here then, but they had somebody come in and actually use
Couch or
the
something
dump,
there.
fill up the pickup truck with, the loader one time.
That was
Same,
here
yeah.
when Jimmy got chased around the vehicle with a shovel because of that.
And then we've had people drop furniture off when the highway department would be out doing
They
ditching.
come back, maybe an extra coach or something.
Yeah, and mainly that's what it was. As far as tracking who's going in and out, I don't know if that's probably a feature, but
Do you care? If not, you can give all the vendors the same, or you can give each one
I do care.
I kinda thought you wanted to know who was going in and out.
that if we can do that, yeah, I'm okay with
As long
that.
as we're not paying an exorbitant fee
Yeah.
or
Okay, let me just find out how many codes, and then we'll go from that. If this is an extra cost, I'll apply and get codes for all of them that you just approved. We'll order 2 extra clippers.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a cost for extra codes because I can't see there being a limit.
I mean, if the clicker's only $15, $20, I doubt the code's gonna be anything.
I doubt there's even going to be a limit.
Pete also is having beaver issues, and so I guess your gentleman that did the beavers is deceased. The new gentleman broke his hand, so he has had no return call. So there is a question if Chris Brown has come forward and will do the beaver trapping for $175 for the town-wide setup, 5 roads, and then it would be $75 a week for 4 or 5 weeks.
Is that budgeted for in Pete's budget?
Budget lady, is it budgeted?
I don't know, we actually
Learned about
specifically
the beavers
budget for
having-
beaver
having
patrol, but
Well, I guess
You
my
have to
question
find
is,
it.
does he have money in his budget?
he has money in it and he
Then I'm
has to
okay
get
with
this
that.
done because
It
they're
has to
starting
be
to
done.
backflow.
Then I'm
the
okay with
water.
that, then I'm
And
okay
you
with that. That was my
mentioned
biggest
last time
question.
you were really afraid what happened in Epsom.
Yeah, it is getting worse as.
I'm okay with it if he has the money in his budget.
Okay, he also wanted the board to know that he's doing 50, he would like to do 50 loads of, was it gravel, he said? At $100, approximately 5K. He will be slightly over the bottom, his account line, but not the bottom line.
Is that for grading? I'm guessing?
The York rake, yes, he's dumping it and doing the York rake and the,
Is he gonna get that done in time before winter?
He said that the fall grading was not going to be timely because there's already leaves on your
I'm okay.
He
roads.
was doing the things that didn't get done.
No, I'm okay with it. I didn't know if he was gonna get it done.
He's
So
just
he's-
letting you know that he's gonna go a little bit over that account.
That one line, but
Yeah.
he's not going over his overall budget.
Correct.
Tom, we appreciate him letting us know.
Well, that's how I thought you guys did business. I'm used to pulling that out of the department
No, I'm
heads.
glad he letting us know. I actually like that.
Also, guardrails, they are too low on Jennis Pond Road and Deerfield Road. On Deerfield Road, I guess it's near Jandabowers. So he would like to get some rail. It's 7,000, he's got 7,500 in his budget that he hasn't spent for that purpose.
Okay.
Good?
Thank you.
He is gonna come in next week because he had a lot of other things that he wanted to go over, being that he's new to the position. And, so he's gonna come in and be on the agenda.
Could you have him come in on the 30th instead, where Scott's gonna be here, plus we have a very big agenda already next week?
Okay?
Is that okay?
Does he have an email yet? Do you know?
If that's okay?
250.
For how, we get, oh, so that's plenty.
Good, yeah.
That's plenty.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Scott.
you'd like,
I figured it wasn't close. We'd have plenty of codes.
We're not gonna go up to 250.
No way.
no.
We'd be lucky if we go over 50.
You want him in on the 30th?
If you can. If you can't do the 30th, we can do them next week. It's just so that way we can all three be here and
Sure, we'll keep it as short as possible for next week, I guess. Okay, that's all that I have.
anything else? Do you have any town administrator report? Are we gonna go back to Parks and Recreation now? Do you have any
We
more?
didn't finish it, so we need to, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't finish that's it, but we still don't have the answers. We can't get the answers that we wanna ask anyways.
Well,
And I don't wanna cut it.
I don't
I don't
wanna
wanna
make
cut it
any
out of
cuts
here.
without somebody here to defend their budget.
I'm okay. And we're okay. Any
Should
kind of,
we reschedule that person for the next,
see if she can come in next meeting? We'll do her right out of
and
the,
we'll give her an actual time.
And if you have a
So she
question-
can present her budget, and
if you
is
have,
it typical that you don't require the department heads to be here?
we usually require them to be here.
The more significant budgets, we ask the department heads to be here. Some of the smaller departments, we have allowed them to just submit their budgets without coming in.
And if you have a
And is
question,
Parks and Rec considered a smaller, or,
I think they are actually a medium size.
so they should attend? So they should attend.
well, my thing is, I guess my thing is, if they're making a big increase that we're gonna have questions on, they should be here. If they're flatlining their budget, most likely we're not gonna ask them any questions. But if they're increasing one line by a significant amount, I'd like them to be here to explain why they're
So with
increasing
this
that line.
year's submitted budget with an increase of 7,069, does that mean you'd like them to attend? Is that significant enough?
Yeah, that's significant.
Okay, then we will make sure to let her know that, for that to be approved.
And if you
she
have a
needs to-
question you
So
wanna
next
ask or
week
you're
or
not
the
here,
30th?
just email it and we can
23rd.
derive that question for you.
Thank you, DJ.
Just helping you out. Anything else? Any town administrator report?
The stuff I just went over was my report.
Got anything?
No, okay.
You have anything, Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I'm not going to be here next week. But I know when Pete came in, just kind of following up, well, he had actually gone out and figured out cost per foot to build roads,
Yep.
and he had expressed some concerns about the budget.
So maybe when he comes in on the 30th,
Do we
can
want
adjust
to, ask him how much he thinks he needs in addition to do the roads
Right.
properly?
I agree. Maybe when he comes in on the
And
30th.
I just wanted to keep that on your radar. And the other thing is, are we still planning to go forward with the warrant article to have a public works director as opposed to a road agent? So it's actually a person that's hired for that position versus elected.
I would like to.
Keep that on your radar.
I would like to. I don't think.
That's all I have.
Public Works instead of the road agent.
Yes.
But isn't the road agent an elected position?
No, we want to do away with the elected position, so we could, like, for example, if we have, like, Pete's does a pretty good job, but he can't run for road agent because he's not from Northwood.
Right, right. But that, so you have a warrant article this year that you put
Yeah, I
forward.
wanted to
We
just make
talked
sure
about
we're
that.
gonna have a warrant
Okay.
article. You know, I just want to remind them that's one of the warrant articles we're thinking about putting in to see if the voters will approve that.
Okay.
Okay, and then I guess my only thing is did we have anybody apply for the road agent position that you know of?
Not to date.
And anybody for Charlie's position? Or well, Pete's position now?
Not
Apply?
to date.
Not to date, and I guess we need to make a motion to put out Adam's position. I'd rather put it out now so we can get on top of that, where he's already put his notice in.
I'll make a motion to post a full-time fire.
He's
rescue.
actually lieutenant, so we're gonna have to post that position, correct?
Not as lieutenant, well, you don't necessarily
Well,
post it as.
Right.
I
It's
would.
a full-time
I would-
firefighter and then the lieutenant
Yeah, the
position.
lieutenants,
Okay.
I would,
it's
when we're going with trying to go for a full-time chief, I don't wanna hire lieutenants
So
and
it's
stuff
okay,
right now.
just a regular firefighter.
Firefighter
Just a
EMT.
regular firefighter EMT.
Okay, I just didn't wanna make sure we put out the right job, that's all.
Because, if you have a new fire chief come in, he's gonna probably wanna have some say on how he's gonna
Right.
develop.
That's gonna
his
actually
department.
change, that's actually gonna change that salary line and make it even less of a hit for the chief too. Because right now we're paying for a lieutenant instead of a firefighter.
Do any of you have any suggestions for foundation people, vendors around here that I can have Trinity?
Osborne.
A1?
S&S flooring has a few. I can't think of anybody else right off the
Do I
top
have
of
a
my
couple
head.
to go with? Thank
I don't
you.
know if Osborne does foundations. I know they do concrete work. I think they do.
Great.
That's all I got. I know, do you have any non-public?
No, I put it for next week.
Do you want to do non-public? Did you want to go into non-public and talk about something? You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do?
Two.
She does. So we
I'll
want.
make a motion to go in non-public under,
Wait a minute, before we do that.
Oh,
Anybody here for Citizens Forum real quick? Come on up.
Yeah.
State your name, please.
Taylor Ashford with the fire department. Flip that mic on. There's a little button right on top. What's that? You should green light go on.
It's all technical, isn't it?
All right, I'm Taylor Ashford with the Northwood Fire Department. We just wanted to bring up a couple things on the full-time chief position, if we could. First thing I wanted to ask is, why are we putting it out to a vote and not having our current chief go as that position?
Nothing off the in-house pretty much.
there's a couple
We did
things.
offer it in-house.
There's a couple things that we can't discuss right now because it's non-public.
Okay.
And, I'm sorry we can't answer that
But
question.
in-house can apply.
In-house can apply.
Okay, so, all right. No. And another thing, I just wanted to wonder if we could, I know it's already out there as a public thing, but if you guys could come down to the department and maybe have, we only had a small showing tonight, but if we could have you guys come down and maybe talk with all the department there on a night of our meeting or something, or of a training, just so we could all maybe talk about it together and go over that. Because I know a bunch of the members have different feelings on it, and they couldn't be here tonight, but they'd probably want to maybe talk to you guys about it and discuss their feelings. I don't know if that's an option we could have too.
I know some nights you guys you train in Epsom though, so what,
We train every Monday night.
I know,
So,
like,
if you
sometimes
guys-
you go to Epsom, so.
Yeah, but if you guys have a night that you could do it, I'm sure we could definitely make things work. So we could get that done, because it's definitely a big issue on our end. 'Cause, we think Nick's doing a great job, and we definitely not want to see him not have the position, because he is a very good leader of our department, and we think he should be chief.
That's one of the best improvements inside the firehouse we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, our call volume's, gone up, and
Best coverage.
we get a lot better coverage than we have had in the past. And definitely better,
A lot better coverage.
A lot
We just
better.
had- We just
Wait,
had
but
a.
not better than your dad, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Don't,
What's that?
Never mind.
don't do that.
Oh,
I was joking about your dad.
Anything else?
no, I know that.
Anybody else?
No, I was saying what he was saying, if he had something.
That's non-public. Anybody else?
Thank you for your input, it's appreciated.
Thank you for your comments.
Anybody, any other citizens forum? All right, seeing none, go for it. Go for your non-public motion.
I'll make a motion on the RSA 91A3, paragraph 2, B and C.
Second that.
Roll call, Donald Hutchins, aye.
Beth Boudreaux, aye.
Scott Breyer, aye.
We are now in non-public.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of non-public.
Second.
Roll call, Donald Hutchins, aye.
Beth Boudreaux, aye.
Scott Breyer, aye.
We are now out of non-public.
I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now adjourned.
And all those